be with the like the carrots and some potatoes.
Hey, Ice Fox, how are you? I'm being really quiet this morning. Hey, Patricia, good morning. It's pretty early, so they're sleeping. It's getting up. So this one is named Rose. Hey, Lisa, how are you this morning? Hey, Rose. So they have the area where you can walk and you can watch them. Hope y'all can see them. And this one, it has Tala and Miko. Miko is one up. Good morning, Georgie. How are you?
Let me show you a demonstration. This is how you become one on.
How are you? I am doing good. It's kind of early, so maybe that's the reason why they're not really up and moving around. It's not really hot or anything.
My mom's like, the only places you write stuff. So I was like, is that recorded?
Excuse me.
Now you got your kid gonna go on here.
You can see them inside their cages.
Whatever, next one yesterday, so it's like you for me.
Yes, yes, Ice Fox. It's one of the homeschooling trips today. And we are in Montgomery County at the Wolf Sanctuary. Yeah. Let me see. There's one that's walking around. Let me try to go over there to that one. Let's see.
Anyone in there?
This is Kaya, not Kaya.
Nope, we renamed it.
Oh, it's Kaya. Where is it?
Right here.
Oh, y'all blocking the wolf. Hello. They started. We had to do the tour. We already had time. It's already blocked off Ice Fox. We had to schedule ahead of time. But this is Kaya. But they renamed it Kaya. Hello. Good morning. Where's the other one?
This is the whole, she went through. She went through. This is the one we seen earlier. It's open.
Oh, okay. She can walk all the way through. Do not put fingers through the fence. There's some more people coming. So I don't know if we're getting a tour or we're just looking ourselves. Or not. What?
On the wall. Nice future.
How are y'all this morning? Yeah, they do look like huskies.
She's up. Because they're looking at the people.
Maybe they're gonna feed them.
The door. They notice every
Shh,
time the door.
kill them. No, they know they're going to take something in there. It's probably time to eat. Oh yeah, they're getting up now. Oh, Lisa said hi to y'all, girls. They're getting ready to feed them. And so
So cute.
And then
they're
they'll be
licking
doing
their
it- We'll be
lips.
starting the tour in just a few minutes.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna wait and everybody else to do it.
Okay.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Fixed.
You heard that?
What?
Kaya.
Born 2017.
Yeah.
Why?
Mm-hmm. Kaya.
Because that's what people always say. They always say
Oh,
it
look, there's
wrong.
that one Bravo right there.
Oh, it's time to eat. They're finna eat. They're getting out of their cage. Look, they're coming out now.
Whoa.
Oh, it's two of them in there.
I didn't know there's two.
Wow, let me show y'all how huge they are.
Romulus and Calypso.
That one's big.
I wonder how you tell the difference between the two.
That's like the same one I seen at the prison.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to eat breakfast. That's why they are up. They're like, it's time to
I
eat.
wonder what they eat. Raw meat. Fresh man.
But they're gonna give us a tour in a minute.
She said fresh man.
I don't know. We'll see what they finna pull out for them to eat.
That one's out of the. That one's out of the.
They're ready. Let's see if I can get down here to be able to see. Hey, Josephine, how are you this morning?
Vlogging.
They're rinsing it out. They're just rinsing out the cage. I don't think there's nothing in there.
But look at this one.
There's another wolf in there. That's Alex. You see Alex?
I would rather move them a little bit. And let them chase it. Oops.
Hey, Ariel, how are you? Yes, we're doing good, Josephine. We're at a wolf sanctuary for a homeschool field trip this morning. And that is Calypso.
An adult.
Oh, so stuck at home playing. Yes, you should have. Your mom should have signed you up. And y'all be at the wolf sanctuary this morning. It is in Montgomery, Texas. It's at, what's the name of the place?
Good morning, everyone. We're ready for a tour.
Ooh, yes. We're finna have a tour now. Okay.
This is where the first half of the tour is going to take place.
All right.
If you want, feel free to sit down. This tour's only going to last about 5, maybe 10 minutes, and then I'll head inside the perimeter fence.
All right. I'm trying not to get kids on here, so.
All right, can everyone hear me good?
Yeah.
All right, if I get too quiet, just tell me to raise my voice a little bit. So my name is Richard. I'm the Assistant Sanctuary Curator here at St. Francis Wolf Sanctuary. I'll be giving you your tour today. So the tour is going to be broken down into 2 different parts. So the first part, I'm going to be sitting down right here because I'm a tired person. And I'm going to tell you about the sanctuary, how we got started, our backstory, and why we need to be here. After that, I'm going to head inside the perimeter fence, and you're going to meet me over there at the second enclosure that has Romulus and Calypso inside of it on the outside of the perimeter. And then I'll start the second half of the tour, which will be I'll introduce you to the animals, I'll let you look at them, see how they behave, tell you a few fun facts about wolves in general. And along the way, at each one of the enclosures, at the end, I'll stop and ask you any questions. Just raise your hand, shout it out, whatever you want to do, and I'll do my best to answer the question. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. So, St. Francis Wolf Sanctuary started in 2002. However, the story of the wolf actually goes all the way back to the 1940s where it starts getting really interesting. However, that's not a good thing. So in the 1940s, wolves are one of the most prevalent predators across the entire northern hemisphere. Odds are, if you were to spin a globe around and place your fingers down on a landmass, you're probably pointing to an entire population of wolves. You might even have your own subspecies underneath your thumb. Here in Texas, we had our own subspecies of the gray wolf, the Mexican red wolf, now extinct, not to be confused with the red wolf, in which there are still 24 of alive out in North Carolina. Well, that was in the 1940s. 1940s, something changed. That something was us. We started moving across the land, we realized that we could affect the population, and later on we realized we could actually completely control the population. We started laying out traps, loading our guns, laying out poison, anything we could do to try to kill these animals. We saw them as being dangerous because we didn't quite understand them at the time. Well, that was the 1940s. 1970s, they've been killed off. Just like that. In 30 years, they've been wiped out of the state. In 1980, Texas officially declares the wolf extirpated from the state of Texas. That means the gray wolf is still alive, it still exists, but not within the boundaries of Texas. There are no more wild populations in Texas. Well, that was back in 1980 that happened. Imagine the surprise of everyone here in Montgomery County in the Conroe area back in 2002 when they see a wolf walking around the place. You'd think you'd be excited. Wow, these haven't been here for so many years, and now they are. The actual reaction was the exact same one we got back in the 40s. We need to kill it, it's dangerous. And so, just like in the 40s, guns were loaded and traps were set. Luckily, a lot of the people in the area also liked the idea of having a wolf, and so they wanted to protect her. And so, luckily, someone did find the mystery wolf in Montgomery County, as she became known as. However, it wasn't until after she had been shot in the shoulder and got her right paw stuck in a steel jaw trap that had nails welded onto it and pinned down to the ground. She went roughly 2 days without food or water, bleeding out, stuck in the middle of the forest. Luckily, a lady did find her, brought her to a local veterinarian. The veterinarian looked her over and thought, if it wasn't for the last week's worth of events, she'd actually be a very young, strong, healthy animal. I'm going to do everything I can to save her life. And he did. He did an amazing job. Saved this mystery wolf's life, took a step back and said, I did a great job. Now what? She's a wolf. You can't put her in your back pocket. You can't set her up on the shelf. You can't even put her in your yard and use her as a pet because she's a wild animal. Not to mention that it's illegal to own wolves and wolf dogs here in Montgomery County. Federally, if the animal is above 98%, it's considered a wolf. You can't own it no matter what. If it's below 98%, it's considered a dog. Now, that's not because the federal government thinks that a 97% wolf is the same as a Chihuahua. That's their way of leaving it up to the individual states to decide. Texas took it a step further and said, we're going to leave it up to the individual county to decide. So Montgomery County, which is where we're currently at, says no wolves or wolf dogs as pets. Well, that made things quite a bit difficult for the mystery wolf of Montgomery County. She can't go anywhere. However, the veterinarian was put in contact with a very lovely woman that had a heart of gold that wanted to help out any animal she could. Most of her work had been done with smaller mammals, so raccoons, possums, squirrels, and birds of prey. So you're looking at the different raptors, the hawks and the eagles and stuff like that. And so she was given a call and told, hey, come down to my office. I have an animal that you might be able to help with if you're interested. So Miss Jean Lefebvre went to the veterinarian's office, saw the wolf, and thought, wolf, bird, same thing, right? No, not really. But she had that heart of gold that I told you about, and so she wanted to help this animal to the best of her abilities. And so she went and got everything filed and laid out, got all the permits and regulations set up for her to be able to legally own this animal on her property. She opened up a nonprofit organization back in 2002, named it St. Francis Wolf Sanctuary. It was purely a means to be able to legally protect this animal. That was it. Why would you need a wolf sanctuary in Texas if there are no wolves in Texas? However, something changed right after that. She got a call to take in 5 more animals. Well, mystery had to have come from somewhere, right? Turns out she came from a facility in Spring. The animals were being neglected, they were being fed food that they can't actually digest. Wolves cannot digest starches and grains, and so they were starving to death. They weren't being given preventative medical care, and so they had heartworms, they had flus, they had ticks, and then, towards the end, canine distemper. Killed off almost the entire population at the facility. 5 animals remained that still needed a new home after the facility was closed down. The person in charge of it heard about Mystery and Miss Jean, gave them a call and said, hey, do you want 1 or 2 or 5 more animals? And so Miss Jean, her husband, and all of their friends started building all these other enclosures on her property. Once again, we're now at 6 animals. We're not going to need to have an actual sanctuary running. It's just a way of taking care of these animals until they can pass away at the end of their hopefully very long, happy life, right? And then she got the special phone call that changed everything. Someone rang her up and said, hey, I have a pet wolf I can't take care of. There might not have been wolves since the 1970s wild in Texas. Turns out there's quite a few of them going through trade as pets. Not just wolves, but wolf dogs included. So in 2002, the sanctuary started, opened up, taking volunteers, letting people come in for tours. That way we can help educate the public. The goal is we want everyone to know wolves and wolf dogs are not pets, but they are amazing animals, and a lot of people just don't quite understand them. And so if I can help you learn anything today, I'm glad, and I have done my job, and if you get to see some amazing animals, then I hope you're happy too. All right, anyone have any questions over the sanctuary itself? All right, well, I'm going to head right inside the perimeter fence over there. If you can meet me on the outside of the fence over at Romulus and Calypso's enclosure.
In dogs,
Especially wolf dogs, you say, there's no such thing. There isn't.
that is more important.
All right, so here at the sanctuary, we do have a dog. I'll tell you why we have a dog at a wolf sanctuary. We also have wolves, and we have some that's in between, called a wolf dog. A wolf dog is exactly what you think it is. It's a cross between a dog and a wolf. Now, technically, dogs are a subspecies of the wolf. So there are two types of wolves in the world. The red wolf, Canis rufus, and the gray wolf, Canis lupus. The gray wolf has multiple subspecies, such as the Arctic wolf is a gray wolf. That would be Canis lupus arctos. There's another subspecies that I'm sure you're all very familiar with, Canis lupus familiaris. That would be a pug, a chihuahua, a Great Dane, or a mastiff. Any domesticated dog. Technically is a subspecies of the gray wolf. However, it's kind of a human-guided evolution, and so it kind of takes this unique path. However, the genetics are so closely mingled anyways that they can still cross together. Whenever that happens, you get a wolf dog. Although this is possible out in nature, it's not very common at all. Most all wolf dogs come from a human intentionally breeding them to sell them as money, or they have two other wolf dogs that bred just because they were together under human care. Well, often this is a horrible thing to happen, as wolf dogs can't survive in the home very well, and they can't survive out in the wild. And so they don't have a natural role to play anywhere. And so in the perfect world, they wouldn't exist. However, they do. And we don't want to give them that horrible home or treat them that way. We want to give them that loving second chance that they deserve. Wasn't their fault they're here, but we're going to make sure they're happy while they're here. And so that's why we have the sanctuary. There's an estimated over 100,000 wolf dogs alone in the continental United States. There's only roughly 48 wolf sanctuaries, and the majority of them don't even take in wolf dogs. So today I'm going to introduce you to everyone. I'm going to teach you some about them. I'm going to teach you their contents. I'll even show you a few ways you can actually tell them apart. Sound good?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so in the enclosure behind me, we have two animals. Calypso, who is directly behind me, and Romulus, who's hiding inside of his house staring at us. So, one of these animals is the wolf dog, and the other one is just a dog. No wolf whatsoever. We're going to play a guessing game. See if you can figure out who's who. Who thinks that Calypso here is the dog?
I think Calypso's the dog.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
Over here.
Okay, about 8 or so. Who thinks that Romulus back there is the dog? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hands, all right. So about 50-50, a little bit more says that Romulus is the dog. Romulus is, in fact, our dog. He's a Malamute with just a little bit of German Shepherd and Husky, but he does look really wolfy, doesn't he? All right, that's exactly why he's here. So there's a guy who decided he wanted to have two high-content wolf dogs. So whenever I say high content, that means lots and lots of wolf, just a little bit of dog. Well, that was his goal. $2,000 later, he now has Romulus and Remus, two Malamute puppies, chained up in his backyard. He gets arrested, goes off to jail, unrelated cause, and he leaves the pups there. And so the neighbors take care of him for a few days before calling a shelter and saying, hey, the neighbor's gone, we don't know what happened to him, but here's two wolf dogs, we can't take care of them. The shelter contacted us and said, hey, we're about to put down these two wolf dogs. For liability reasons, they can't adopt them out. However, if you want to take them, they don't have to be put down. And we said, yeah, send some pictures to us, let's look at them. As soon as we saw the pictures, well, puppies of wolves are always born black or very dark brown. These Malamute puppies had bands of white and brown and gray all over their body. Obviously not a wolf. So we let them know it's not a wolf. You can adopt them out. They're just Malamutes. They probably have some other stuff mixed in with them. The response was, you want them or not? Well, we don't really do adoptions here. However, we had the extra space, the extra time, the extra money. It's only two animals. Why not? We'll just take them in, spend a couple days to get the paperwork changed, we'll adopt them out. 8 years later, the paperwork finally got changed.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently, it's a horribly slow process. But it finally happened. They're now labeled as Malamutes, and Remus gets adopted out almost instantly, just like that. He had people lined up waiting to take him.
Yeah.
Romulus had the same thing going on, but we had to tell everyone no. In those 8 years, we got to know him really well. Turns out Romulus doesn't like dogs bigger than him. Not too big of an issue. It's a pretty big dog, right? He also doesn't like dogs smaller than him, or the same size as him. You have Romulus, you have a cat, you no longer have a cat. If the kid's below 4 feet tall, he's a chew toy now. He's also very food aggressive. He has acid reflux, he has acid etched teeth, and he has to have a very heavily medicated dog food for him to be able to actually eat it.
Wow.
With all of that together, yeah, sure, we might be able to find someone that can adopt him out, but we can't guarantee that he's treated the way he deserves to be. But if he stays here, we can. And then something happened that said, okay, yes, he's most definitely staying here. He actually bonded with another animal, Calypso. An animal that doesn't get along with other animals that just got along with an animal, why would we ever separate them? And so he's staying here. So sometimes they'll show it. Sometimes Romulus likes to act like he's a big tough guy. But they're actually coupled. They love each other very much. And Romulus gives Calypso all the attention she could possibly need, which is actually a whole lot more important than it is with any of our other couples. So a lot of the animals here, as they slowly build that bond with the keeper, we can interact with them a little bit more. Now, there's still wolves and wolf dogs, and so there is a limit, there's a line, there's special training you have to have. But with Calypso, doesn't matter how much she loves me. I can't touch her. Do you see this black tape that's on this enclosure? That's because this enclosure holds the most dangerous animal we have here, which is Calypso, our sweetheart. So she was owned in Oklahoma, intentionally malnourished. The guy that Googled how to control wolf dogs ended up finding some link that said if you starve them, they become obedient. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on the internet. Don't listen to it. Well, she was being starved. You could count her ribs from 100 yards away. She was horribly emaciated.
Wow.
Well, ended up going out for a walk for the first time in who knows how long. Multiple people called and reported her. She got taken away and brought to a shelter in the area. Well, all was good. The shelter knew, okay, she's a wolf dog. She needs to be fed actual meats, not corn, not starches, not grains, or else she's going to starve. Her health started returning to her, and they thought, we might be able to adopt her out, because she's a pretty low content, and she's so sweet. We're willing to take that chance. Most shelters wouldn't do that. And then she bit someone. And then she bit someone again. And then she clamped on to a 20-year-old calf that was volunteering in the enclosure by herself, that had sat down on the ground and was petting another dog, and dragged her halfway across the enclosure.
Oh my goodness.
She's still a sweetheart. However, she has a wild animal mixed in with her. And so, no matter how much she loves you, if you trip and fall in her enclosure, her brain just kind of clicks. She bites on, and then it's, oh, no, I'm not supposed to do that. Oh, you're on the ground, got to do it again. There are wild animals there. She is not domesticated. She is not a dog. She's a wolf dog. In fact, even a wolf would be safer than a wolf dog, because wolves are neophobic. That's the fear of new things. A wolf will think, you're small, I might be able to bite you, but you're not an ungulate. You're not a hoofed mammal like deer, elk, bison, caribou. I don't know what you are. I'm just going to run away. But if they have that dog in them, the dog is brave. You know, dogs will run up to you and bark at you or say, pet me, even though I've never seen you before. And so that prey drive kicks in, saying, I could bite you. And the dog says, do it. Versus the wolf would run away. And so wolf dogs are the most dangerous of the three. Now, if you're a full-grown adult, you might be able to outlast that 3 seconds of wild animal that showed. If it's only going to last for 3 seconds, it might last for 3 hours. You don't know. Now, imagine if you're a toddler. 3 seconds, you just lost your child because you decided to have one of these animals as a pet. Even though for the last 2 years, it's been the most amazing pet in the world. It only takes that 1 second, that 2 seconds, that half a second for them to just change, just like that. So please don't get them as pets. Go to a rescue, adopt out a husky or another Malamute or a mix. I promise you, it'll be just as complicated. Well, that's how we got Romulus. Calypso from that shelter. After all the bite history, she was going to be put down. However, a deal was struck. She gets one more chance if she gets sent to a facility that specializes in this type of animal. And so she came here to St. Francis Wolf Sanctuary, where she lives under what's called a no-contact policy. If I'm in the enclosure, she's in her shift. If I'm in the shift, she's in her enclosure. So it might kind of sound sad, thinking, oh, so she doesn't get pet, she doesn't get attention. Well, remember how I said Rom gives her all the attention she could possibly need? Rom will lay there and groom her and pluck out all that undercoat that's starting to be blown out because it's starting to warm up, which is why some of them look a little bit weird right now. They have like the uneven fur. The undercoat's falling out because of temperature. Yeah. And so he'll give her all the attention she could possibly want. All right, any questions about these two? All right, now I'm going to cover a couple of phenotypes. So phenotypes is how we look at an animal and tell you if it's a wolf or a dog. Who here owns a wolf shirt? No one has any wolf shirts? What? All right, I guess it's only me. I have like 12 or so. I thought I owned 12 or so. As soon as I started working here, it turns out I owned like 2. But I had a whole bunch of husky shirts. Y'all remember seeing those pictures of those really beautiful wolves with those bright blue eyes?
Yes.
Wolves don't have blue eyes. If there's blue eyes, that means it's such a low content, might as well just be a dog. It might have a little bit depending on how it was bred, you know, back and forth kind of thing. Could change that a little bit. But in general, if there's blue eyes, not a wolf, probably not even a wolf dog. Wolves have the sloped eyes that kind of point down towards the nose. They have straight tails versus huskies might have the tails that throw over their back. Wolves don't even have the muscles to be able to curve their tail up. It's like trying to open up your hand the other way. You can close it this way, right? But you can't close it the other way. You're not structured that way. Well, that's how a wolf's tail is structured. They kind of raise it above their back, but they can't curl it above their back. Whenever a tail of a wolf starts wagging, it kind of just does that. versus a dog's going to wipe the whole counter clean of everything. We also look at how they walk. Wolves have what's called inline or single tracking, so one foot in front of the other. Often their feet are kind of facing outwards versus a dog's feet face forward, and they walk in 2 tracks. That's because they have that barrel-shaped chest versus the wolf has more of a keel-shaped chest. That way they can push through the snow easy. They also have bigger feet with bigger webbing, and their ears are rounded off a bit more to prevent frostbite up in the north. All right, you're ready to go over and meet Kaya?
Yeah.
All right, so Kaya does have a lot of husky in her. So I often hear, oh, we had a dog that looked like that, must have had wolf. She looks very, very husky-like. She has the crown, she has the face mask, she has the coloration, she has the tail, she has the size, everything that matches a husky. Now, she's just a little bit heavier than a husky should be. That's because she has the really dense muscle that she got from that wolf part of her. So she is a wolf dog. However, just adding that little bit of wolf into her restructured a lot of her muscles. So a dog, or almost any animal that has jaw muscles, the muscle connects from the jaw up to the base of the orbital bone. That's the bone that goes around your eye. And whenever they want to close their jaw, that muscle tightens, causing the jaw to lift up. Well, a wolf's muscle doesn't connect here. It connects all across it. And their orbital bones are about 20% bigger. That's why wolves have more of a wedge-shaped head versus a dog has more of a box kind of shaped head, because it's a lot larger. That means their muscle is a lot more efficient, a lot denser, and a lot larger. However, the size of the animal's head is roughly the same, but they're already quite a bit stronger. Now, that might make it sound, oh, that'd make a great guard animal. You add wolf in, they're going to run away, not attack. And so, worst possible guard animal. However, fun fact, although she is the sweet animal that everyone wants to cuddle and hug, and she wants to cuddle and hug too, if she was a husky, I'd probably be exhausted if I went into that enclosure, but I could handle myself. She's a wolf dog. She can locate my arm in about 3 seconds. She's not being aggressive, she just wants to play, and I cannot stand up to her strength. She's tossing around 90 pounds at me, which might not be too horribly much, but whenever she comes flying in from the side with those muscles whipping and lashing back and forth, I don't stand a chance. I'm 260 pounds and 6'2". I don't stand a chance. If she wanted me on the ground, I'm going to end up on the ground. So she originally came from Nebraska. She was chained to the front porch after the owner threw a tantrum because she couldn't potty train her. These animals are smarter than most dogs. However, they're not willing like the dog is. The dog is genetically bred to be someone that can listen to what they're told. The wolf does what the wolf wants. They're not willing, which makes it quite a bit harder to train with them. It's still possible. We actually do pretty good with it, but you have to have a lot more patience, and you have to be really smart about it. We use special tools such as bridges to actually get to the point we need to be at. And so, whenever he threw a tantrum about her not becoming potty trained, chained her to the front porch, she went out for a midnight stroll. In Nebraska, with all the ranchers and farmers, that didn't go very well with the neighbors. And so, he had to put that collar on real tight the next day. She still slipped off. However, tore open an 8-inch gash across the back of her neck. He stapled it home at shut, got horribly infected, the skin was turning colors, it was actually starting to peel back and dry, it started rotting, the fur was falling out, and you could smell it. You could actually smell it from a distance. If the wind carried towards you, you'd smell death. Well, someone ended up reporting it. The game warden showed up at his house and said, if you give us this animal, if we can drive out of your driveway right now with this animal in the back of our car, we won't press charges, you just don't get to see her again, but we'll give her all the medical attention she needs. The idea going through his head was something along the lines of, well, I'm not going to spend money and save her, so why not? So he says yes. Game warden ends up getting Kaya, gives her the surgery, puts her on antibiotics, gets everything nice and stitched up, has the dead skin cut out, saves her life. After she's on the mend, she gets handed over to us. If you look at her neck now, you can't even tell she ever had the injury. No. The only sign that it was ever there is if she stood still for 10 seconds with me in the enclosure, which won't happen, you can see that she still has that scar tissue across the back of her neck. All right, any questions over Kaya?
I do.
Good.
Okay, I see all the enclosure kind of going over that. You said she was strong. Can she jump it?
So they can't jump it, however, believe it or not, these animals can climb. Now, they might not be graceful at it, but they're very capable of it. Pretty much they just punch their paw through the fence hole, and they just climb up it. However, a although they can climb, they're not Spider-Man, and so they can't go over an overhang. So that's why we
Because
have
of
that.
Spider-Man can do that.
However, what do canines do if they can't go through or over something?
Dig.
They dig under it. And so we also have fencing that goes underneath the ground to keep it from coming out. That causes the price of these enclosures to skyrocket when you have to actually bury stuff under the ground.
Yeah.
Cost on average about $14,000 for an enclosure.
For just one individual one?
One individual closure for a year of maintenance. So that would just be all the material, the house inside, the platforms, all of that. And the majority of it comes from concrete because whenever you have a pole that goes this high, you're going to have to really sink it in the ground. If you're building a small fence, you don't have to have it where it can handle much weight.
Yeah.
This has to be able to handle 12 feet of height with a 200-pound person clinging onto the top trying to knock it down.
Yeah.
If it stands that test, then it's good. That means lots and lots of concrete underneath the ground.
Yeah.
That also means lots of fencing underneath the ground. That just drives the prices up.
Yeah.
All right, I saw a question over here. Yes.
What breed of wolf is in Kaya?
Kaya's a gray wolf with a lot of husky mixed in.
it's a spirit animal.
Also,
So we have different tag levels. So the first tag is yellow. That means I am domesticated and tame. Domesticated means I'm a dog. So the only one we have is Romulus, the dog.
Yeah.
Orange tag means I'm not domesticated, but I am tame. So that would mean I know how to behave around people, I'm social, I'm okay with you, but I'm not a dog. And so I might randomly switch back and forth.
Yeah.
So that would be Kaya. She's nice, she likes people, but she's not domesticated. Next is red tag, that means I'm not domestic or tame. I'm fearful of you, I'm a wolf, I'm gonna stay away from you. And then after that is black tag, that means it doesn't matter what I am, I bite. Yes.
what kind of food does she eat?
She eats raw meat. We give all of our animals, except for Romulus, about 2 to 3 pounds of raw meat every day. We also used to give Romulus raw meat as well until his stomach started having issues digesting the meat, so we switched over to the EN blended dog food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I forgot to ask what breed of wolf and dog is in Calypso.
All the ones we have are gray wolf,
Okay.
except if you look at the ones that are really black color, they're called black phase gray wolves. And then we also have a white one that's called the Arctic gray wolf. All right, you ready to go over and meet our first black phase?
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
Jamie,
What?
I'm gonna ask you about the wolf at it's a British Columbian wolf and a husky. I mean German Shepherd. That's the big dog I see.
Right here on the enclosure. So this one is Raksha, and this is Alex. So I'm going to go ahead and cover Raksha's story first. I'm going to cover another animal in that story as well. Her sister Ryu, who is 2 enclosures down. They're both black phase, that's P-H-A-S-E, black phase wolf. Called so because they're not going to be black all their life. They're going to slowly start getting that gray or platinum coloration. If you look at the picture of Raksha, you notice she has some gray around her muzzle. Oh, that was taken about a year or so ago. If you were to actually see Raksha, she has the gray that's on her muzzle going all through her entire body, down to her tail, and down into her legs, to her ankles. And she's only 3 years old, so she's pretty young. Speaking of ages, out in the wild, these animals would usually live to be around 6 to 8 years old. Their human care, they usually
Okay, guys, I'm gonna end our video vlog right here, and I'll continue the rest on my video that I sent in. Thank y'all for all being able to watch the video, and I will be posting this soon. So I want to thank y'all. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to join the family. Hit me with a like, and I'll see you on the next adventure.